I am a girl who is a stoner, and one day I plan to start a podcast, but until then, I will just talk my shit here. So thanks for listening. So, like I said, I do plan to start a podcast, but until then, I just figured why not keep dumping my thoughts on my TikTok. So, we are going to garden, watch the rain, and just do a little chit chatting. So, today, what I want to discuss is mind body connection. I am a true believer that our mind, body, and souls are completely connected and intertwined into one another, and just the effect that they have on each other. So, one of the best examples I can give is when I was younger, I had a lot of issues with my hormones and my body, and that's something completely separate. But with that, I had gotten diagnosed with PCOS at a very young age, being told that my body was just not producing enough healthy eggs, and I just was not having the right hormone balance in my body. Therefore, I was unable to have children. At that time, I had been with my ex for already about a year, um, but we had been together for a total of 5 years. And throughout that relationship, him nor I used protection in any way because I was just told it was not going to happen. And if I were to end up pregnant, it would not be a successful pregnancy, just my body would reject it. And I just kept thinking how miserable I was with that answer and how miserable I was in this relationship and how it was a failing relationship that I was trying to force to stay healthy in a way. Anyway, so like I had said, I had been told by my doctor that the chances of me getting pregnant were zero to none. Um, and that my body just was not producing healthy eggs. I also had stopped getting my period at all, not just every month, just at all. I gained weight and I was starting to break out significantly. And I was just thinking to myself about how miserable I was, not just because of how I looked and how my appearance was changing, but just in the way that my mental state was and who I was as a person. But in the end, my ex had broken up with me, or as he had put it, placed us in a trial period. And once that was said to me, and I started putting myself first, and I started thinking about myself, my body quickly changed. And it was such a night and day difference in who I was. I was with somebody who drained me, who literally made me feel like a completely different person. And as soon as I started detaching from him, everything else came together. My skin started clearing up. I started feeling better just in my heart. And come to find out, literally 3 to 4 months after leaving him physically and no longer being in his presence and no longer enduring anything of that relationship, I get my period every month. And I have been told that my eggs are so beautiful and healthy, and that my OB has never seen a turnaround like this. And it's just something crazy to think that my mind, being so unhappy in the situation I was in, being so hurt in that relationship, was causing so much physical damage to myself as well. And that's something that I continuously try to realize and point out to myself, that on a daily basis, as someone who works in healthcare, I'm surrounded by sickness, and unhealthy habits are just easily accessible to me. Door dashing food at the office and making sure to just stop and get a coffee before I get into the clinic. Things like that can cause me to have an unhealthy body and mindset that I'm just learning to completely cut out and appreciate my everyday life, my everyday have, my everyday abilities. Now, honestly, I may be talking in circles and I may not make sense whatsoever, but the conclusion of everything I'm saying is that our mind and body are connected, and the way that you talk to yourself mentally, the way you treat yourself emotionally, your body is going to have the exact same effect. Now, I know it's easier said than done to treat yourself better and think positive thoughts, but I'm telling you, the moment that you sit down and actually look at a situation and say something positive about it, your whole mood and mindset will change on it. And your body will thank you for just taking the second to show it love instead of hate. But anyway, that is the end of my spiel. I don't have much else to say, but let's go ahead and take another one. Alrighty, guys, I love each and every one of you guys, and I hope whenever I do finally make my podcast, you guys show me as much support there as you guys do here on TikTok. I love you guys. Bye.